with the recording. All right, we can start. Thank you, everyone, for coming, guys, to this masterclass. We will learn how to build muscle at home, doing calisthenics training, so using minimal equipment, using mainly your body weight through a plant-based diet. We'll be talking a little bit of my background, how I end up learning what I know today, and how I've learned and developed the Kali Vegan method. We'll be talking about what are the goals that you can expect to achieve applying the things that we're going to teach you in this masterclass. And then we will guide you through the 5 pillars that will help you build muscle and lose fat. So these will actually be the actionable steps that you can take away from this masterclass, apply, and if you are in a moment right now in confusion and overwhelming when it comes to what to do, when it comes to build muscle, lose fat, we are going to give you actionable tips that are going to give you clarity. Winners take action. So as we go through this masterclass, do not just listen, do not take this as a movie, a Netflix movie or some episodes. Take some notes when you hear something that is useful and is interesting to you, because taking notes is a great way for you to actually remember things, and eventually later on you can look at it as well. And also, because with these two of us, there's also Marco, if you have questions as we go, feel free to drop the questions in the chat, okay? So there's going to be a lot of information, or better, I say, I have a lot of information in my head. So I tried to give you something that is simple and understandable, okay? But if there is something extra that as we go, you would like me to share, feel free to drop it in the chat and we can answer that. And then after the masterclass, if everything makes sense, and you would like that extra help, you would like to be guided in your journey of building muscle, losing fat, and increase your confidence, we will give you an opportunity to work together and join our Kali Vegan 2.0 program. Let's go. Just a quick background about me. So that's little Stefano with mom. I was born in south of Italy in 1994, so I'm 31 years old now. And I've been traveling around the world. As I said, I lived in London, Barcelona, and now I live in south of Spain. I've been on a plant-based diet for 6 years. I actually became vegan 4 years ago, and I am now also an animal rights activist. I have been bartending for most of my life, and I became a coach 6 years ago, and I'm now an online coach for 4 years. Let's talk about who is this masterclass for. First of all, if you want to build muscle and lose fat on a plant-based diet, these are the most important pillars, the simple things that we want you to achieve. And this is an example of one of our best clients, Marcello, who managed to build 8 kilograms of muscle and lose slightly more than 10% body fat. You want to feel happier, less anxious, and be more productive. I added to this presentation some of the comments from our clients just to make it a little bit more real and actually feel those transformation. And he said, something I reflected on yesterday after my intense workout is that I feel much calmer, and the anxiety is probably down to 15-20% of what it was before I started this journey. I cannot remember when I felt this good about myself. Do you guys feel like training is a great tool to reduce anxiety and stress? You can share, you can say yes in the chat. optimize your energy levels. This is Lex. And something that shared with me during the testimonial was that apart from his physique transformation, what he actually enjoyed the most was that during the weekend, he didn't feel tired and wanting to rest anymore, but he had the energy to actually do things and do different projects and go out with friends. And here he is saying, I am on vacation with my family this week, and they are all very impressed with how big I've become and how easy I beat them on the tennis court. This masterclass is for you if you want to build a physique you're proud of and will make you more attractive. Here we have Franz that's got some compliments from his ladies. Great, getting compliments is also real motivating. Got some nice words from some nice girls recently again. So I was very excited about that. And this is Elias on the right that says, huge shout out to Stefano for letting me feel confident again after years in my holiday on the beach. Long time I did not have fun like that. Thank you so much. So imagine yourself going for your beach holiday and really feel confident about being shirtless. Is that something that you would like to experience? Let us know in the chat, or with a thumb up also work. And then finally, wanting to be a healthy role model for the people around you. This is Aryan, who says, my uncle and another cousin from Macedonia gave me compliments when he saw me preparing to work out in the backyard with the pull-ups bar, rings, and deep bars. I installed them in order to draw them in to join me. Someone needs to do it. Someone needs to be that person in the family that tries to be better and brings a good example. And if you're here, that's probably you. So what we are going to learn is a simple yet effective way to eat a plant-based diet that will allow you to get shredded and optimize your energy levels. We will learn how to structure a home workout to build muscle, a routine that will make you feel balanced and improve your mental state and productivity, break some misconception around training and nutrition that are keeping you stuck, and then understanding that lack of motivation isn't the reason you are inconsistent, and what you need to focus on instead. Does this resonate with you guys? Let us know in the chat, or keep dropping thumbs up, keep interacting. Is this correct? Yeah. So tell me if this is you. You struggle to stay consistent because you don't see the results you wish for. Does anyone feel reflected here? You think it's difficult to get enough protein on a plant-based diet. What about this one? You don't have time to go to a gym or do long workouts. You're overwhelmed by the information online around training and nutrition, and you end up not really understanding in what you need to focus on. And you think fitness needs to take over your life in order to have satisfying results. You're not alone, because these are things our clients went through, and myself as well. I went through all these things, and that's why after years of experience, I understood how to break through these doubts and come up with a solution. So the first thing I want to share with you guys is that I started training in 2011. We're talking about strength training, 2011. So it's now 15 years. Am I correct? No, I'm doing the math wrong, I think. No, I'm correct. Something like that.
14 years.
14 years. I'm not good with math, guys. Okay, dates, numbers, I get confused. But you know, it's a long time. It's a long time that I do strength training, and I also shared a little bit of pictures of me doing other sports because I've been always doing sports since I'm 5 years old. That my parents pushed me to do sports. I was competing in badminton. I trained martial arts. I recently got back into kickboxing. But anyway, it's 14 years that I started strength training. And I was also worried about protein. This is 4 different pictures that represent, let's say, 3 different transformations. So the first one, as you can see, the first picture, I was already kind of athletic. I kind of just started doing strength training, and I was eating meat and animal products 6 times a day. Classic bodybuilding kind of eating. I just went online on bodybuilding.com and I copied whatever Arnold Schwarzenegger was doing. That was basically my approach to diet. And I got pretty good results. And I was 19 years old here in the second picture. Then we go from 19 years old to over here 25 years old. I was living in London, as you can see. I got bigger, and I was already on a plant-based diet here. I was already 2 years on a plant-based diet, and I was definitely eating less animal products. I wasn't taking protein shake, and my protein intake was lower. And then we go into this recent transformation. As you can see, not huge different, but I am a little bit looking better. And over here, my protein intake went even lower because I started to approach a diet that is high in fruit. And fruit is naturally lower in protein. What really changed here? My protein intake changed, but my ability to get stronger, my ability to build muscle didn't actually change. So when it comes to the message here is that when it comes to build muscle, you don't really have to focus on protein. You don't necessarily have to over focus on nutrition, okay? What build muscle is actually training and your ability to get stronger over time. However, though, there is a reason why I approached a fruit that is a diet that is higher in fruit, and was the health outcome that I learned that you would get from it. And by eating a diet that is high in fruit, you will have better energy levels and digestion. And for the simple reason that fruit itself is very easy to digest, is going to simplify your diet because it's very easy to go to a supermarket wherever you are and buy some bananas. So it's very time efficient. And it's easier to maintain lower levels of fat when you eat a diet that is higher in fruit, because fruit is full of water, is full of fiber. So you can eat a lot of it and still maintain your calories low and feel satiated. We'll talk more about it later. And I just wanted to add here that in this period of plant-based nutrition, I always been doing my blood test. I got my last one a few weeks ago, and they were perfect. But actually, in this picture over here, do you guys think I look great here? Let me know in the comments, in the chat. Do you think I look good? Yeah? Well, I didn't feel good. I didn't feel good at all. Actually, I was going through a period of low energy levels. I had brain fog, and I was tired, and I was getting more and more tired. And it was kind of the beginning of when I approached a plant-based diet. And the reason why I didn't feel good, it was because when you go from a diet that is high in animal products, it also means that you're coming from a diet that is high in fat. So it's easier to eat more calories by eating less food. Then when you move towards a diet that is higher in plants, you are eating healthier, but you are eating food that is lower in calories, less calorie dense. And I was moving a lot. I was being a personal trainer. I was training. And the reason why I didn't feel great was because I was not giving myself enough calories. And I learned that through a book about plant-based sport nutrition. And all of my symptoms were there: brain fog, tiredness. And as soon as I started to control my calories, in few days, I started to feel better. Okay. Now I don't want to say that it does. That means that you cannot look like that and feel great. But in this time, I got this shredded because I was not controlling my caloric intake, and I didn't know that I was under eating. Go, Marco.
Yeah, Andy's asking the name of the book. It was Vegan Sports Nutrition. How was it called? I remember you mentioned it also in the past.
Plant-based sports nutrition. You should find it. Is like green, and the author is Dr. Annette something. That should be enough information.
Another question: should I keep on admitting people, or should we set a limit of people that are way too late? Does it make sense to keep? I don't know if everyone is getting the blink from the people that wants to join.
Let's no, they're not getting the blink.
Okay, then we can go on. Okay, I just want to make sure that no one is disturbed by the people arriving later. Okay.
And another thing about this period, right? So I was feeling very low, and I was on a plant-based journey. Also, when I went plant-based 6 years ago, there was not a lot of information. More people were skeptical, and a lot of people were telling me that I was feeling like that because I was on a plant-based diet and I was missing nutrients. And so I believed that. So I did my blood test thinking I was missing iron, I was missing B12, whatever. But at the end, my blood tests were fine. And later on, as I said, I found out what was the real reason, and there was lack of calories. Now, why calisthenics? First of all, saves time. As I said, I started training when I was around 15 years old. When you're young, you have a lot of time, you have a lot of willpower. All you think is going to school, friends, girls, working out. And for me, it was also working out. But then when life hit and I started to work as a bartender, and by the way, I started training with traditional weight training, if I didn't mention that. And when I started working and traveling, it was difficult to commit to my routine, even though for me it was very important to commit to it. I was try hard, but it was hard to find the time and get to the gym. So when I found out about calisthenics while I was living in London, I realized that I could really cut the time, because going to the gym takes time. You know, even if the gym is below your building, you're going to spend an extra 20 minutes. You know, you go down, you need to change, you do a shower there. That's an extra 20 minutes. So calisthenics and knowing how to train at home, it's really a life changer and save a lot of time. I also started calisthenics in a period when I was suffering with lower back pain. My lower back pain came from working a lot, like 5 years as a bartender. You stand a lot, you lift things, but also a few injuries that I got from squatting with the wrong technique. And I stopped training for a year. I was almost getting depressed because my identity was very attached to my body, having a strong body and being strong. And my lower back didn't allow me to work out, because I would pick up something and my lower back would be triggered. And after 1 year of doctor telling me, you're not going to do any sport anymore. I said, no, this is not happening. I need to train. And when I started calisthenics, I noticed that my back was fine. It's more fun, coming from a background of sport. When you do martial arts, weight training can be a little boring, and calisthenics is more motivating, stimulating, with you learning different exercises, and also it develops a more harmonic physique. Now, you're not that really pumped like a bodybuilder that is isolating each muscle, but your body is developing through compound and functional movements, and is definitely coming up more harmonic, more like an athlete kind of physique. Now, why strength training became so important for me in life? There's different journey around this. When I was young, it was a matter of confidence and breaking through a lot of insecurities that I developed because I was bullied. My father had his thing, and we moved a lot, and it was difficult for me to insert in new situations. And so when I found the strength training, I found this thing to canalize all of this insecurity, and I really liked to push hard. It started to make me feel more proud about myself. And then I started to build muscle, confidence, got up, and girls started to be attracted to me, and friends started to be like, oh, I want to learn what you're doing. So I started to create a circle of people, good people, and I improved massively my mental health. And then over time, it's translated in having a more resilient mindset. Okay, if you have developed a strong body, it means that you have followed an effective structure. You've done it consistently. You've done it also when you don't want necessarily to do it, right? And so these are all things that you can apply in mindset, that you can apply in business, you can apply in other projects that you have, and will allow you to be more efficient in doing that, in being able to push through and go through those hard times. And also another thing that strength training does to your mindset is that when everything else goes to shit in life, if you have a structured approach to strength training, you can make sure that that keeps going up. So, there is that thing that you can be happy about, even if other things are not going that well. And of course, longevity and overall health. I am 31 years old. Marco is 30.
I will be turning 38 in
38.
July.
We go running. Marco is doing also martial arts. We're strong, and it's key for longevity to do strength training, and of course, in general, physical activity.
Absolutely.
And so that's why we created the program. These are some of our clients. We just want to help more men level up their mindset, their confidence, and being able to have that affecting all areas of your life. So these are the 5 pillars that we're going to touch on. Andy is saying, does calisthenics help with body flexibility, mobility? It absolutely does. And because this is actually the thing and the reason why I developed lower back pain, because training at the gym, you perhaps are sitting and you're doing movement that don't follow the natural movement of your joints. On the other side, calisthenics does. So it promotes movements that are going through the full range of motion of your joints and develops strength through complete range of motion, and that definitely going to allow you to develop a more functional and flexible body. But mobility work is specific mobility work is also important. So we're going to talk about plant-based nutrition to help you build muscle, lose fat, and optimize your energies. Calisthenics training, how you can get stronger and build muscle while training at home so you can save time. The importance of support, having someone besides you that has walked the walk and can help you go through different challenges that you can have. Mental fitness, this is going to be Marco focus and is going to guide you through the importance of finding balance between going hard and loving yourself, as well as the importance of developing habits. And then values and community. When you are someone who is different, because I think we are the people that is here today is different, wants to be more than average, has more projects in life, and being surrounded by like-minded individuals is crucial for you to actually expand as much as possible and feel supported and feel pushed in this journey. All right, so first of all, we're going to debunk some myths. The first one is that it's difficult to get enough protein on a plant-based diet. Here's the thing. So I showed you before that I built muscle and strength with different diet approaches and different amount of protein intake. As I mentioned before, you do not want to look at nutrition as a way of building muscle. You want to look at nutrition as a way of optimizing your health. And if your training is improving over time, so you're getting stronger over time, you're doing everything that's necessary for you to build muscle. Beside that, everything has got protein. By the way, can you share guys in the chat who is not vegan or on a plant-based, maybe vegetarian or vegan? I'm curious. But yeah, many people have that concept that protein only comes from animal products, or even when it comes to plants, protein are only in legumes, for example. Reality is everything has got protein. You do not necessarily need to think about specific food that have protein. You don't have time to work out, so many people think that you need to dedicate like 6 days per week to work out, very long workouts of 1 hour and a half, perhaps maybe 2 hours in order to build muscle. That's not true. Yes, if you are an athlete and you compete in strength training and bodybuilding, you probably want to spend more time. But I am not an athlete. I just want the benefits from strength training. And we have 3 workouts of 1 hour, and then we have another workout that is shorter, and we do it from home. So it's about 3 hours and a half per week that you need to invest in order to get good results. Or we should say amazing results. You lack the motivation that other people have. You lack the motivation that other people with the results you want have. And why is this a misconception? Because the reason why you're not motivated is probably because you lack clarity and you don't see the results you want. Okay, motivation comes and go. You cannot rely on motivation if you want to see results, because it's important to be consistent. And once you have structure, and once you see the results, it's much easier to actually be disciplined and consistent. Go, Marco.
Yeah, very, very briefly, this masterclass is open for everyone. We are talking, because I see in the chat, we should not get into what's best, what should be, what should not be. We are all coming from not being vegan eventually, and that's absolutely fine. We're going to explain later why we choose personally to go vegan. And if this is something that aligns with yourself, you can do this choice. But we are not here now to point the finger at anyone. So I want everyone to feel safe. This is a safe space, and we are here to learn from each other, to talk to each other, to understand each other. So just for that, no one should feel uncomfortable about anything. We are here to learn together and exchange on what's relevant in order to take informative decisions. That's all. Okay, right back to you.
I actually wanted to say that in the beginning as well. I think perhaps you think you're too old to build muscle and strength. Absolute lie. We actually had clients that have 50 years old and they build their muscle and strength. Perhaps you think you're going to get injured. As long as you have a progression that is good for your strength level, you do not overdo things, you can do it, and you should do it, because building muscle and strength will allow you to live healthier in the long term. It takes a long time to get in shape, and it is easy to lose it. This is another misconception. My first transformation that you saw, that was 2.5 years, 3 years. And the transformations that you've seen from our clients, they are 3-4 months to 1 year. So if you have an effective structure, you can go get amazing results in a short period of time. Let's start with nutrition. What to focus on? So we already said that it's not about food. Okay, so stop thinking that food builds muscles. And also start focusing on actually eating less protein. And why is that important? Because as we mentioned before, perhaps some of you guys are already eating animal products, as I saw in the chat. And who knows, maybe it is because you think you're not getting enough protein from plants. And that way of thinking, what it does is moving you away from healthier choices. Because in 2025, we know that animal products cause all kinds of diseases. And the less animal products you have, the healthier you are, and the likely you are to live longer. And you see that if you want to go to the food that is higher in protein, you move away from the healthiest food, which is fruit, which is vegetables, which is plants. Even just having protein shakes, for me, is a less healthy choice for you. Okay, so I wanted to dissociate yourself from protein, because the only reason you think about protein is because you want to build muscle, and you don't build muscle by eating protein. You build muscle by training. Okay, so again, diet is for you to optimize health, and to be healthier, you want to eat plants in general, but focusing a lot on fruit. Also, you need less fat than you think, okay? We have this concept of needing to have a fat source, but actually fat is also in plants. You don't necessarily need to increase your fat intake. Increasing your fat intake is going to make it harder to stay leaner and to lose fat, because it's less filling than fruit that is high in fiber. Also, our body functions optimally with a diet that is low in fat. Okay, even if you have removed animal products from your diet, you're still not doing good if you're eating a lot of fat from good sources, even if it's good. Okay, because if you overeat your fat, that stays in the blood, and overeat meaning above 15% fat from your calories. Okay, what happens is stays in the blood, and this is when your body has more difficulty in to process the sugar and send it to the body and use it. Okay, so blood sugar spikes are not actually caused by sugar intake and by carbohydrates, okay, high blood sugar, but it's actually caused by too much fat in your body that doesn't allow your arteries and your body to actually process it and send it to use it as energy. Food is fuel and should be simple. So stop looking for complex recipe. Eat the banana, eat the broccoli, eat the tofu, eat the legume. Just heat it up and eat it. You don't need the special recipe with the special ingredients, okay? Go, Marco.
Then, of course, you can treat yourself. You should eat your snacks and cheat meals. You should enjoy life. We're not saying you should only eat broccoli, rice, and bananas. But what Stefano is saying, that also I had to learn that if you want to keep it simple, you're going to be having a lot of advantages in the daily life, sometimes to simplify and not overcomplicate with thousands of ingredients, but just having food as a fuel to energize you to get to where you want to get. The simpler you make it, the easier it's going to be to sustain this line. And of course, snacks and cheat meals and fun is also a part, but for the bigger part, if you have it simple, that's going to be an advantage for sure. That's it.
Thank you, Marco. Absolutely. I also have my fancy meals. It's just overall simplifying. Absolutely. Then being in control is okay. Many people are scared of weighing your food, of using a food tracking app, but you are using an app right now to learn. And food tracking and weighing your food is just another tool that you can use to learn about nutrition. Okay, so do not scare away from it. Once you do it, it's going to feel easy because it's not something that is taking a lot of time, and it really allows you to take control over your energy levels and over your body fat percentage.
I see there is a question coming in the chat. I don't know if we should answer the questions right away.
Let's do it.
There is Andy's asking, my understanding is that we should run our bodies on fat instead of sugar, which means we are in keto. What's your thoughts on this? I've struggled to understand what the right thing to do is because there's so much conflicting information out there.
Well, let's connect it with this last point. Okay, you don't need to be perfect. Meaning, we are going to give you what we think is the best information approach to diet, but you can surely be successful of also approaching diet in a different way. Now, when it comes to a keto diet, it really goes against the way our body function, and also being on a plant-based diet is impossible to actually. It doesn't really make sense to be on a ketogenic diet because it's carbs, right? And if we use some logic and we understand that eating more plants is healthier, then you see how it doesn't make sense that our body functions better on a ketogenic diet that is higher in fat. Our body uses glucose as the main fuel for energies, especially for the brain. So the idea of ketogenic is just marketing, and it doesn't make sense. And that's it. I hope that answered the question. We can actually work on this. Yeah.
So there is also another question from Rowan. I don't know if you can see the chat, but basically Rowan is also asking, question. Does our liver create most of the protein our body needs from clean, unprocessed carbohydrates?
That's a scientific deep question, and I am not able to give you that answer. But what I can tell you is this, that we are primates, and our physiology and digestive system is very similar to them. And we are not lions So lions would be the carnivore would be the one that have a ketogenic diet that is high in fat. But we are not lions. We are not carnivores. We are primates, and primates eat mostly fruit. Now, who wants to be as strong as a gorilla? So now let's actually talk about some actionable things that you can do with your nutrition. Keep asking questions, by the way, if you want. We are going to keep this simple, but caloric target is important. So how do you find out your caloric target? You can just go online, any website that calculates it, it's fine. If you have fat to lose, you're going to subtract from that number 500, and that's going to be your daily caloric intake. How do I know if this number is going to be exact? You don't know, and that's why you need to take measurements. The easy way to take measurements is going to be weighing yourself every morning. Make sure that you do it all the time, either before or after toilet. Okay, it has to be the same kind of environment and setup. And then you take the average over 5 days, and this is what you compare week after week, the average. We don't want to make changes after the first week. So let's say the weight doesn't go down after the first week. We don't change anything. We change things if we don't see the weight going down after 2 weeks. Okay, because the weight fluctuates and it's not that precise. So we need to wait. Of course, movement is going to be part of this. So if the weight is not going down, you can either drop your calories or increase your daily steps, for example. Okay, but your food intake is going to be the main driver of your fat loss. What if you don't have fat to lose? If you don't have fat to lose, what you're looking for is your average weight to stabilize. Okay, once it's stable, you can say, okay, this is my caloric target. Now, the approach that I suggest you have to diet, as I said earlier, is to have a simple approach to diet. Okay, so what you want to do, using a food tracking app based on your caloric target, and the food tracking app I use is Macros, and it allows you to create templates. Okay, and what I do is I create this template, which is basically the structure for the day of my ideal day of eating. And here I give you an example. As you can see, I ate a lot of fruit. Breakfast, 4 bananas with 2 apples. Then I ate more bananas for lunch. Snack, melon. I'm not eating melon right now, but we're getting close to summer, so it's definitely going to be melon. Sometimes I will have instead hummus with breadstick. Other time I have nuts at home and I eat nuts. Okay, this is the thing, guys. It's not about being perfect. Okay, but you want to create a structure. And then for dinner is where I have my cooked food, and I have tofu, or can be another legumes, mixed vegetables. As I mentioned earlier, I like to go for broccoli and some grain. Potatoes are a better choice than cereals, for the same reason why fruit is good for us, because potatoes are easier to digest and they have more water compared to grains. Marco, do you want to add anything to this? Did I miss anything?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I also learned, for example, that potato is a better choice, especially when I was on the caloric deficit time, because having a food that is bigger in volume, so less dense in calories, will basically fill you up better, so you're going to be more satisfied, rather than using, I don't know, pasta or rice, which I still love to eat. But if you are on a caloric deficit and you are eating less than what you're burning, having food which is higher in volume and lower in caloric density will get you through the day easier and more satisfied. So I can definitely confirm that increasing the fruits and the light vegetables is definitely a key factor to get through the caloric deficit phase, which is the one that I like the least. To eat less than a burn. It's not my favorite phase, but if you do it properly, you're gonna be getting to the lean physique that you want, and then things are gonna be more relaxed right after. So I can confirm that for sure.
Training number 2. So this is where, so Nick, again, you do not have to worry about the sugar content in fruit. Let's move to training. This is where we want to focus on, and this is what we need to get right in order to build muscle. Okay, so first of all, train at home. Like, for me, is a must. Did you have so many things to do in life? You don't have time to go to a gym. There is no reason why you should be going to the gym. You can if you want, but if you want to save time, you need just minimal equipment at home, so train at home. Another mistake that people do and don't understand is resting short time between exercises. Let's say you do push-ups, 30 seconds, and you do more push-ups. This is a sign that you don't have a well-structured workout, because when a strength workout plan is well organized, you shouldn't be able to do that exercise again after 30 seconds, because it should be that hard. Then a common mistake that people do when they train at home with their body weight is they do push-ups and pull-ups, right? And here's two things that happen, especially for people that are on the beginner side. When it comes to push-ups, they become easy, very, very quick. And you can, I talk with some guys that, they were a lot less strong than me, but they could do 300 push-ups. It's like, I don't do 300 push-ups, but they were not muscular. Why? Because it becomes a matter of strength endurance, right? So if you do a lot of push-ups, you just become good at doing push-ups. You're not getting stronger. And then on the other side, pull-ups are often mistaken for something that you should be able to do just because it's a body weight exercise. But that's not true. Pull-ups are hard, especially if you're a beginner, okay? And what happens when you do pull-ups and you're not ready for it? You are doing something that is too hard, and so you're not doing it with the proper technique. And you're struggling all the time while you're doing that. And so you don't allow for the correct stimulus to happen. Here comes the next point. Doing a workout doesn't translate to muscle growth. This reminds me of a German client called Florian. Sometimes he was going to the gym and he would do the chest workout and the bicep workout. It wasn't consistent, but he was going there and do the chest workout and never saw results, because doing the chest workout, doing the back workout is not what's necessary for you in order to build muscle. What you need is that you make progress within that workout over time, whatever it is. If there is one thing that I want you to get out from this masterclass, is this: whatever you're doing, whatever it is your workout, if you just apply this, like doing more over time, you are probably winning. You're probably going to see much better results. Cardio will burn your muscle. Absolutely not true. I went for a 7K run today. I run between 10 to 20 kilometers per week. There's been time in which I was training kickboxing almost every day, and my strength was still going up. I was still muscular. And actually, cardio is very important, okay? I do not support experts in health that promote just going for a walk. That is not how you optimize your health, okay? Your lungs and your heart, they are muscle that have to be trained. And actually, when you are consistent with it, after only 2 months in of doing 2 cardio sessions per week, you will feel your energy levels going higher than before, because your lungs and heart become more efficient in pumping blood and letting oxygen circulate. And also thinking that feeling the burn or feeling the pump is a good signal that you've done a good workout. It's not, because even though perhaps it's part of a workout, but again, what's important is that you get stronger over time. Okay, so if you have more questions about what I'm going to share, you can ask in the chat now. I try to give you an information that is simple to absorb, okay? Talking about the equipment, the main things that you need is a pull-up bar, rings, because you can use rings attached to the pull-up bar and do dips, okay? But you could also have dip bars, and pull-up bands. These are necessary not only as a beginner, also as you get advanced, you will use band to assist you, because when it comes to weight training, you can make small adjustment in the weight you're using. With calisthenics, you cannot do it. Your weight is your weight. You cannot change, you cannot cut off one hand to weight less. And so using the pull-up bands is going to allow you to find the right intensity in your workout or your exercises. Go, Marco.
Yeah, pull-up bands, basically it's resistant bands. It's these elastic bands that you have seen surely everywhere. It doesn't have to be something super fancy, but usually the ones that you can find at Decathlon or at any sports shop that have different thicknesses and width. They can support you with, I don't know, 45 kilos, 25 kilos, 12 kilos, etc. So it's not something super specific, but having a band that pulls you up when you are not capable of doing the exercise cleanly will help. So it's a very simple tool, but indeed very useful, especially at the beginning, and especially since I heard that there are some seniors in the chat and they're worried about making it that their energy is lower. Probably their energy is lower because they are not exercising as much, they're not as active as they were. So it feels like you're going down because your body is going down. But if you start slow but steady to get the energy back, we have also people, athletes. I mean, everyone knows about Japan. There is an island called Okinawa. This is where I want to retire. People are 80 plus years old and they're doing exercises that I cannot do now. They're doing muscle ups every day. So if they can make it at 80, I can also make it at 80. So it's possible, but of course you have to get step by step back to enable your body to make these movements step by step, and using bands will help.
Absolutely. So let's come into what I think was the most valuable thing that I could give you when it comes to training, which is a workout structure. Okay, we're going to have a week in which you do a pull workout, a push workout, and a leg workout. Okay, you can repeat the push and pull again if you want, or just do 3 workouts is fine if you're, especially if you are a beginner. We're going to have 3 exercises, okay? And basically the concept is that we go from harder to easier. This is another mistake that many people do, especially in calisthenics. They just try different exercises without understanding that they're hard. You cannot do hard things all the time during your workout. You need to start hard and then reduce the intensity and increase the volume. Also, as you can see over here, like we start at low repetitions, okay? Because low repetitions allow us to get stronger quicker over time compared to like chasing the high numbers of pull-ups. So here's what we do. Exercise 1, 3 sets, 3 to 5 repetitions, 2 to 3 minutes rest. For example, this could be your pull-ups, right? Perhaps you can do at least 3 repetitions of pull-ups, a good technique, perfect. Exercise 2, is going to be something easier. If we are working on pull-ups, then we can do the bends, okay? So we can increase the volume, again, 2 to 3 minutes rest. And exercise 3, in the case of our pull training, we're going to do something that is on a different plane. So pull-ups are vertical, and we can do something horizontal, like Australian pull-ups or horizontal pull-ups, using the rings with your feet on the floor. You always want to think about this when also for your push workout, for example, you want vertical and horizontal plane exercises. So dips are vertical, for example, and push-ups are horizontal. And the other thing is that you want to make progress over time, okay? So this 3 to 5 and 5 to 8 is the rep range in which you're going to work. Let's say you start from the minimum, okay? Over time, you want to try and do more. So you're going to get to 3 sets of 5 repetitions. Once you're there, it's an indication that you have created enough volume of work that can allow you to go from that exercise you're working on to a harder variation. For example, pull-ups, we can add 5 kilograms to it. And you can repeat this concept over and over. Rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. You just need to find, of course, the correct next progression. Marco?
Yes. Thank you very much. So another very important point to get to building muscles, to get to your goals, is accountability. Because if you're not holding yourself accountable, or if no one else is doing that, the chances that we are like allowing ourselves to not do the work are definitely higher. That's why for some, including me, at a certain point of my life, I understood that alone I could only get so far. That's why 8 months ago I reached out to Stefano, actually for other reasons, for activism. And when I found out that he was offering a training plan about calisthenics, which was something that I wanted to learn as well, I joined him. I took him as a coach to help me, to hold me accountable. And that's why it worked, because having someone who you need to report to, it doesn't have to be necessarily a coach. For me, it was the best. But even if you promise to your partner or to your best friend or your parents, your son, your daughter, hey, person X, I will get in shape in the next 6 months, or for the summer, I will have a 6-pack. If you tell them and you say, hey, hold me accountable. If you see me not training when I was supposed to, when you see me eating cake when I should be eating apples, when you see me doing things which are not aligned with my goals, hold me accountable. That's why alone might not work for you. If you're here, maybe it's a possibility to consider. I know that it helped me a lot, and I see that it's helping many people to have someone that is holding you accountable. And once you have someone that makes you walk the line, you might learn the structure in order to hold yourself accountable by yourself. So as an example, in the last 6 to 8 months in which I worked with Stefano, first as a coachee, like he was my coach and I was his student, basically I learned now tools with which I know how to hold myself accountable. So I not necessarily need him as much anymore. Sometimes I still need a little push from him or my partner when I'm saying, oh, my love, I don't want to go run. And she said, Marco, take your shoes and go. It helps. So create a way, help yourself, and things will get definitely easier. So that's a point that we had to underline. So here is also what to do. For example, having a coach or someone that can guide you is a simple trick to be held accountable, and being honest with yourself. So if you say that you want to get in shape, if you want to lose fat, of course you have to be honest with yourself, not lying to yourself and saying it's okay if I do the training tomorrow, and you start procrastinating, pushing it to the day after. Or it's okay if I eat this bag of chips and then another bag of chips and then the ice cream and then the cake. We have to be honest with ourselves. We have to also, yes, Stefano, go. I cannot hear you. You're muted.
I just want to share my personal experience that I'm living right now. You know, I just started a caloric deficit because I want to lose some fat for the summer and be truly shredded. And today I went for shopping, right? And there was the hummus and the bread just calling me. You know, they were just calling me, you know. And so I ended up buying the bread and the hummus, and I ended up like eating all my calories in the morning with bread and hummus. And in my head, I was thinking a little bit of, well, it's okay. I'll keep eating today and go over my calories. And then I said, no, that's not okay. You know, I want to achieve this goal. And if I will keep eating, then I will overeat my calories. I do not need to eat more at the end of the day. I ate enough. And so I held myself accountable, and I was honest that I didn't need that. And if I wanted to achieve my goals, I had to avoid eating more.
Okay, yes. So basically, this is something that is very helpful, is to be honest with yourself. If you're lying to yourself, this will not work. So you have to be honest in order to make things work. That's, I think that's clear, but it's good to remind and know that. Also, what's very important is to track the data. So if you know that you want to lose weight, you want to lose fat, and you want to be in a caloric deficit, you have to know that you're doing it. So you have to track, especially at the beginning, before you create a sense of what foods have how many calories, which where I'm at now after a few months in which I learned to track everything and put everything in the app to know if I was really in the target. Now it's easier, but just because I learned to track the data before. So what I want to say is that guessing, thinking, and the trying will not lead you to the same outcome compared to tracking what you're doing. So tracking that you're getting stronger. So writing down the number of repetitions, the number of sets, making sure that you're either increasing one or the other. So either you're adding volume or you're adding intensity. So adding weight or taking a lighter band that will help you less. So you have to track what you're doing, and just remembering how was it 2 weeks ago is not going to work. And also just guessing how much you're eating is not going to work. Okay, Stefano has a raised hand. Go. You're muted again.
I just wanted to put emphasis on that, since it was kind of my part, but I didn't say it. Tracking your workout, super important. Okay, while you work out, you have to see your numbers. You would forget. So you have to see your numbers. You need to go back and say, okay, this week I did 3 sets of 3. What do I need to do this week in order to make progress? That's very important.
Yeah, and I would say I promise I didn't do this in the past. I'm now 38 almost, and I learned to do this in the last 8 months, and the difference is huge. Like even though it's an extra pain to write things down, it's an extra pain to track your nutrition. It's worth it. This little extra few minutes of control about what you're doing will make a dramatic and drastic difference in the results. So even if it's like, do I have to do it? If you want to have the results that you want to have, yes, you have to track what you're doing. You have to know what you're doing. You have to be in control, and you need to see the progress and have this under control. So yeah. And here we go to the next slide, which is mental fitness, which is a part that is very important for me, coming from a background in which my mental fitness was not always very stable. I didn't know how to regulate, how to feel emotions. There were a lot of things that I was numbed because of a personal history of dysfunctional family and problematic situationship with partners and stuff. I learned a lot. I had coaches helping me. I read books and I listened to a lot of psychologists and learned a lot of things that I didn't know before. Now help me a lot to have a way balanced life, to feel my emotions in a way that I'm not scared about them, and also to be more successful and resilient when it comes to training, but also in all areas of my life. It can be work, it can be many other areas. Having this mental control is key, because at the core everything is connected. So we need to have also the mental part functioning and in control, in order to control our mind and not having our mind control us. So what is to focus on, and things that we have to be having an eye on and be aware, is to not be too loose, to not have this mindset of, it's okay, I will do this tomorrow, I will start tomorrow, I will do this next week, I will do this next month, I will do this next year, and then things don't happen. We have to find a balance and not be too loose, because that's not okay. We are not gonna get stuff done if we keep on thinking on what to do and not doing it. Also, what doesn't help at all is comparing yourself to others and say, yeah, but he's making it because he started earlier. He's making it exactly as Stefano said, now is the best time to start. He's making it because he's younger. He's making it because he's I don't know, blonde, because he has blue eyes. Like, there's always something that we can see that others have that we think we don't have, and that's why we should not compare ourselves to others. We are on our own journey. We should think about our progress. We should think about our exactly as Victor also wrote in the chat, you should compare yourself to you. It's you against you, and not you against others. It's you for you and not for others. So you have to focus on, what do I need, where did I start, what's my actual status quo, where do I want to get, and focus on your path. If you focus on your path, if you keep the mind clear on what's your journey, you're gonna be okay. So forget about the others. They're not relevant. Also important, you don't have to be perfect. So watch the way you talk to yourself. I know I had a very highly critique voice towards myself that was actually sometimes blocking me and sabotaging me to get to the results. Because if every time in which we don't do the things the way we expect us to do, and we start insulting ourselves and saying, here we go again, and we have these voices that are coming from us to us that sometimes maybe resemble the voice of a very strict parent, of a teacher, of someone that belittled us. If we have this noise and this voice that is always putting us down, this will not help us. This is gonna sabotage us. It's gonna make us feel like we should give up. And so we should really watch our self-talk, and we have to accept that we are not perfect, and that's okay. So Rohan has a question. Should we do the questions now, Stefano, or should we do them at the end?
You can write it in the chat, Rohan, please.
Yeah, Rohan, you can write your question in the chat, and if it's relevant to the topic, I'm happy to talk about this for everyone. So as I said, being too loose is not okay. Being too hard on yourself is also not okay, because you might how can I say, get in this spiraling energy of, I'm not good enough, I cannot do it, I should have done it yesterday, I should have done it week, and so on. And also trying to be productive all the time is also not okay, because we are not machines. We need to rest. Also in the next slide, there will be some what to do. We cannot expect from ourselves to function all the time. That's we of course we work towards increasing our tolerance window to get more done, to be better, to be more efficient, to have more energy, to be stronger, to look better. But we cannot expect from ourselves to be productive all the time. This is not going to help. So we expand the tolerance window step by step. So the next slide will be what to do. Setting boundaries. This is something that it's a big, broad topic. I cannot go too deep. Otherwise, we can be here for the next 3 hours talking about boundaries. But to make it short and simple, you have to learn to say no when something is not for you. You have to learn to disappoint also others. And again, you also have to learn to say yes to yourself and see what is the direction you want to go and prioritize yourself before others. Not to be egoistic, but also not to be always people pleasing left and right. And then you don't have time for yourself. You are drained and things are not going to work out for you. And you're going to find excuses. But this is just because you are not setting your boundaries in a way that you can keep your energy. This is also the last point that I'm going to of the list. But basically, you have to take care of yourself. You have to start with yourself. And then once you have more capacities, you can help others. What also is very important for the mental fitness is having a morning and evening routine. If you have a good morning routine in which you start the day in a way in which you are looking forward to, it can be some stretching, it can be having a tea, it can be whatever it is, looking outside of the window and breathing for 10 minutes, but having something that is starting well your day instead of, I don't know, starting going on TikTok and Instagram right away and putting inputs and stimulants without a filter in your brain. This is going to be a game changer. And the same in the evening, finding a routine that will lead you to sleep well will again be the other part of the loop. So if you go to sleep well and you're going to feel good during the night, find a good rest, quality sleep.
I agree.
Okay. I don't know what it was. Anyway, this is very important. So also finding time for to love yourself, your rituals, having a day, for example, in which you take care of yourself. You can go to the spa, skincare. Even if we are men, we can take care of ourselves, and we should. And making intentional time for that will be very, very important to keep your mental fitness thriving. Again, also recreational activities, doing what you like. If you have hobbies that you love to do, but you didn't water anymore, you didn't give any attention to, also look into that. And as a last point, I would say is to accept that growth is not linear. We are not machines again. We can have moments in which we are lower in energy. Accepting that and understanding that this is something that is absolutely normal will help you to, after doing 2 steps back, to do 3 steps forward again. So it's okay to not go up all the time. So right back to Stefano. If you have questions about this, please also again ask in the in-call messages. It was a very brief concentration of a few tools that helped me a lot that I'm still working on. But of course, this is a huge topic as well, but we cannot be here for the next 10 hours. So I just give you some little inputs to maybe look into and see, oh, actually this resonates. And then you can look into deeper into that. Luckily, there is a lot of information out there, and you can find a lot of valuable information out there.
All right, thank you, Marco. Definitely resonated with me, especially I think morning evening routine. It really allows you to find
I
peace.
agree.
We have some
Stefano, can we mute this? There is I don't know if someone is by mistake putting a text and playing it. But it's very annoying. Can you mute this? I don't know what it was, but it was like a robotic voice. Just I never had.
Don't let them enter. Don't let them enter in the meeting.
Okay, we should not let them in the meeting. Can you do you know where it came from, so we can maybe
No,
And
It's a private
apparently,
caller.
let's
Someone
just
named private caller.
let's just ignore, because apparently I cannot stop that from happening.
Yeah, let's focus on the master class.
yeah, perfect. Thank you, Rowan.
So the last part, but it's a very, very important thing for us. This is something that we actually kind of embodied more recently, and is the concept of community and growing together, right? When you embody a certain type of goals and approach to life, it happens that you attract the right people. Okay, so it's very important to be true to yourself and move in the direction that you want to without being influenced by the people around you. Even when it comes to training, all right, we talked earlier about boundaries. People around you don't want to necessarily be better and take care of their health, but you don't need to let them influence you. Then when we are surrounded with people that share your same values, they want to be kind of above average, they want to improve, they want to leave a positive impact around them and in the world. When you're surrounded with these people, then you will feel more powerful and you move together faster. Okay, by the way, who does here resonate about being a man that wants to be this? You want to be having a positive impact with your project, with your presence. You want to be a healthy role model. You have this desire for growth and want it to be above average. And you want to be that person that is a provider and is a protector. I already saw a lot of thumbs up, so I guess we are all aligned. And so is not being vegan aligned with these values? Because when you're not vegan and animal products, you probably all know that there are animals that are put in very horrible situation. They are tortured. They are very young when it happens, and they are the most vulnerable beings, right? We're not farming sharks and lions. We are farming sheep and cows and the most vulnerable one. So what happens there is that you have the power and you can choose what you can do with that power. You can choose to change, be a strong man, and change so you're not making who is less powerful than you harmed, okay? Or you can continue on your path and ignore this suffering. But is that the person that you want to be? Is that selfish decision that reflects the person you want to be? I hope that's not you, and I don't think so. So with the Kali Vegan 2.0 program and with our community, we want to create a community of men that are true to this value and they take action and they are strong enough to change, so they are not exploiting the vulnerable. Because once you align your action with your values, you become a better person overall, okay? And you see the world in a different way and you're truly able to do some good. Because we do live in a world and we're all selfish. It's humans. We're absolutely selfish. Everyone is selfish. It's the base of our society. However, the goal is moving away from it because we're in a time in which it's important to be more altruistic. Okay, and it starts from being vegan. Does that resonate with you guys? Did any non-vegan here got motivated to actually be vegan today? There you go. We got the thumb up. Amazing. Amazing. And I just want to say, that just the last thing, again, like if you think there is any reason why you cannot go vegan today, think of it from the victim position, okay? Put yourself in the position that animals are living, perhaps in a cage, in a slaughterhouse, just about to be shot in the head. Put yourself in that position and think, do you think that whatever is your situation and your excuse, an argument against not going vegan right now would be a good justification for you if you were going to be exploited and killed? Summary, all right? What's important? Control your calories. That's going to make you feel good and lose fat. Base your diet on whole plant food, okay? Move away from, definitely eliminate animal products, but also move away from processed food, from chemicals, from supplements, and eat more fruits and vegetables without focusing on protein. Reduce the fat. I don't know if we mentioned, but maybe we actually didn't mention, but something that I do, everyone does in the Cali Vegan program, is eliminating completely added oils. Okay, that's an amazing move. Not eating added oils, because you don't realize, but each spoon is 120 calories, so it's very easy to overdo your calories with oil. When it comes to training, you want to select exercises based on your strength level, so exercises that you can do with a proper technique, and you want to make progress over time. Then you want to prioritize your mental fitness with a good routine, morning routine, night routine, loving yourself routine, so doing the things that you love, and find balance between pushing hard and not doing nothing. Okay, and find your balance there, and over time you can go harder and harder. Find a guide, whoever it is, someone that you can ask if you're doing things correctly, someone that knows more than you, and surround yourself by like-minded individuals and by a positive example that you can learn from. Now, we told you at the end we would show you how we can work together with you to help you achieve your goals. So would you like to know how we can guide you build up to 6 kilograms of muscles and see your abs in the next 6 months? Show me some thumbs up. Do we want to do it? Have some? Let's do it. All right, so our program is called the Cali Vegan 2.0 and is a proven method that has already helped over 300 men build confidence, discipline, and success in every area of their life. In the middle, we actually have Marco, transformation.
That's me. If you can recognize me, that's me before and now. So you can see that
6 months, right?
Yeah, 6 months. And I did lose 6 kilos of fat, and I did gain 6 kilos of muscles in 6 months. So it did work. And I've also to say, I wasn't perfect. I did a lot of mistakes, especially at the beginning. So I think it's possible to do better than I did, but I'm still very happy with the change. My partner is very happy. And yeah, you can see I did change quite a bit.
Amazing. Good job, Marco. So what can you expect from working with us? Clarity, so knowing exactly what you have to do. Structure, okay, so not wandering around, but actually following a plan that works, that gives you results. Again, I think this is something that is underlooked. Actually, I actually think that we can talk about Marco experience, because there was a moment in time in which Marco told me, but Stefano, but when we are going to maintain? And his motivation when he had that thoughts and he had that approach in which he just wanted to maintain actually started to go down. Because results, especially for some people, for me definitely, in order to be consistent and be motivated, we need to see the results. We want to keep making progress over time, and this is what is going to excite us, and we will make sure that you are seeing those results that motivate you. You will have a community, and you will be able to impact the people around you. So we'll be supporting you with these 5 pillars that we also talked about today, that will lead you to the best version of yourself. the plant-based nutrition, at-home calisthenics training, mental fitness and habits, community, and the support you need. So what is included in the CaliVegan 2.0 program? Tailored nutrition plan to lose fat, build muscle, and feel your best. So I'll tell you the calorie target, the protein target, and also you will have modules that teach you how to eat and what food choices you should have, as well as ongoing support. So we will work together in understanding how we can create the structure adapted to your individual's needs. There's going to be included a tailored at-home calisthenics workout plan. So selecting the correct exercises for your strength level so you can focus on technique. You will learn the technique through video tutorials. The exercises will be selected based on your starting point. And then we will update your workout as you get stronger. So this is the biggest difference between gym training and calisthenics. When you go to a gym, bench press, adding weight over time, kind of easy. With calisthenics, you need to choose different exercises, and I will create the best progression in exercises for your strength level, allowing you to consistently build muscle without feeling stuck. Before we mentioned about mobility, there is also the mobility program included. So you reduce the risk of injury and develop healthy joints over time. I've repeated video tutorials here. And feedback on technique. So you will have chat support, the ability to contact me through chat, sending me the videos of you working out so I can give you feedback, reduce the risk of injury, and make sure that you're optimizing the strength and muscle gain from each exercise. Is this repeating itself? Yes, it is. Workout plan, yes, this is repeating itself. We're also going to be implementing cardio into your routine, so we'll help you do it in a way that fits your lifestyle, because as we said, it's super important for your health and optimizing your energy levels, and will help you build habits like your morning routine, your evening routine. Does it sound good so far? I see some thumbs up. Then the psychological support. This is going to be Marco work. You're going to get a call with him, understanding where is your starting point. Perhaps you have insecurities, struggles in life. You can share them with Marco. And then we do daily mindset talk. We alternate, me and Marco. So you are going to be able to see life and understand how we are succeeding and what is our mindset that is getting us to progress over time. So each morning you will have a video to start the day with motivation and with the right mindset. We do weekly group calls. This is for answering questions. Sometimes we talk about specific topic like training, nutrition, relationships, and mentality. And some other time is just a way to connect with like-minded individuals and just share. And then we have a community chat. You also have one-to-one calls, especially in the beginning, making sure that the plan is clear for you. Then you have one-to-one chat support, both with me and Marco. I'm going to be your training and nutrition guide mainly, and Marco is going to be your mental health support. And then we have weekly check-ins. Weekly check-ins are going to be crucial because we are going to make sure that you are moving forward. Okay, if you disappear, I will get back to you at least once per week, and I will contact you if I think that you're not doing things correctly, or simply the measurements are not going in the direction we want, and we will make changes in order to make sure that you're losing fat and building muscle. Are you asking this question? How much does all this cost? You curious? So let's do some calculations. 6 months of training plan, 120 euros monthly, comes down to 720 euros. Same thing for the nutrition plan. One-to-one coaching calls, you're definitely going to have one with Marco, one with me, and then one with me after 1 month. Once you have kind of, after 1 month, you have already understood better the system and you will have more kind of in-depth questions. And then I didn't mention it, but you actually have unlimited calls. If you need extra calls, we can do them. But I calculated only, what did I calculate? 4 calls here, so 600 euros. We have a weekly group calls, let's say 25 euros. For 6 months is going to be 520 euros. And then you have one-to-one chat support. This is the most valuable thing that you get because you can contact me anytime you feel stuck and you have questions about training, about nutrition. And then there is also the chat support from Marco's side. And that's going to be 400 euro per month for a total of 2,400. So the total cost of the Kali Vegan program is 5,000 euros. Do we make it sexier? Yeah? See some yeses. Thumbs up. Let's make it sexier. We're going to add a free ticket to the Kali Vegan retreat for the first 3 persons that are going to join the program. I lost it. Sorry. Are we back online? Can you see it? Yes. Okay. So what is this retreat about? It's about getting together and disconnect from the world, have a holiday, but a holiday in which we are going to do things that are going to get us to the next level. Okay. And so we're going to do activities, meditation, training, of course. Both me and Marco do martial arts, so we're definitely doing some fighting and some kickboxing, and overall just being surrounded by like-minded individuals. So, by the way, the 2,500 was a mistake. The retreat would be 3,000 euro, and that's a 7 days retreat. So the Kali Vegan program plus the retreat would be 8,000 euros. Do we make it sexier? Let's make it sexier. For the people who joined today, instead of 8,000, it's going to be 4,000? No. It's going to be 2,000 euros for the 6 months, for all the tools that we talked about, and for the new version of yourself that is more confident and capable. Do we make it sexier? Let's do it. We actually guarantee the results, okay? As I mentioned, we already talked with the 300 people. I've tested, I have changed, and we implemented new things inside of this program. And something that I didn't actually say at the beginning, but is important to say right now, we do not only do the average weight, we also measure the body fat. So we have actually a clear understanding of where your muscle growth is going. And after 4 years of the Kali Vegan program, I can say for sure that if you follow the program, you will get the results. And so I'm confident that I can give this guarantee. And if you haven't built at least 3 kilograms of muscle and lost, if necessary, this depends from different situation, but at least 10 kilograms of fat, we will work with you for free until you do. That sounds good? Thumbs up. Nice. So we have only limited spots and we can only take 10 people at this time. This is just to guarantee great service. This is a one-to-one thing, so we cannot take too many people all at once. Do you want to know how you can join now? Say yes. Thumb up. Sounds good. You can't. Sorry. Okay, you can't, and this is just because we want to make sure that we are a good fit for each other. Okay, so we're not just going to send over a payment link. We want you to book a call, and I'm going to share the booking link with you right now. So what we said before, guys, what is you can share that in the chat. What is the best time to take action when you want to do something? Marco said now, today. Jet says now. Okay, so here is the booking link. We wanted to make a consultation now and move forward in this journey. And when you do, let us know so we can celebrate. And also, this is the time for you to ask some questions if you have.
I think that Jet Black, Michael, you had a raised hand. Is it still on, or is it already solved? It's solved. Okay, I can see it from your gesture. Okay, you were muted, but I see you. You're saying it's okay. Perfect. If someone has questions, please ask. I know there was some during the class. I don't know if by now the question was answered, but in case not, here, Harry, you would like to ask something? Please go ahead.
Yeah, I was just curious about. I was just curious about this course personally. I wasn't necessarily thinking about changing, but just curious to learn more. And my question was about how much protein does your body need to, like, what is it? How many grams per kilogram of body weight is someone meant to have so that they can actually not lose muscle? Because sometimes when I've been unwell, I've lost weight and then I've come back after not training for about a month. And then I'm weaker. I've lost mass or muscle mass and body fat, but then at the same time I can't do as well. I can't perform as well. So I've been trying to build up to what I was beforehand. Did gymnastics and I also train at home through about 2 to 3 times a week. I follow a thing called Callium, so I'm wondering how much protein should I be having per? Does it make sense?
Yeah, absolutely makes sense. You mentioned that you sometimes are unwell, right?
Yeah, so if I've got for a cold, I guess okay, but when you have a cough, you have to let you have to kind of rest so your immune system can handle it. Otherwise, you make yourself even worse.
Exactly. So what happened there is that you didn't train, and that's why you lost strength and lost muscle. Okay.
I wasn't eating a great deal either, but
exactly,
but not as much.
Exactly. You should just accept that, and eating more protein is not going to do much in your ability to retain your strength. You will lose some strength and lose some muscles. What you want to do is accept that you had a time in which you weren't training and you lost some strength. And when you go back to training, accept that, be conservative. So do not expect that you're going to do the same. And then over time, you're going to make progress again and get back to where you were and keep making progress, right? So 1 week of not being well is not going to affect your 1 year progress.
Yeah, because I personally am doing gymnastics once or twice a week as well as trying to do. Have you ever heard of Cali Move with Sven and Alex, the guys on YouTube?
Yeah.
I follow their calisthenics program, and I've been trying to like progress, and I might procrastinate something here and there. And I try to slowly. I'm trying to get up to 8 reps minimum on the 4th rep, and I know you have to do you have to do progressive overload over time. So just trying to build up. I think one of the key things in what you talk about and what they talk about is patience and consistency, and like a bit of humility, not to compare yourself to others. Like focus on yourself. It's like I've been below 8 reps for pull-ups for a while now, and I've been trying to get that sorted.
Keep pushing, man. Keep pushing. Progressive overload. You get it. You get stronger. 100%.
One other thing that I thought was interesting, I just found out from my doctor recently about last year, in case anyone's thinking about, the creatine. People say, I found I responded to creatine and my body did get stronger. I did put on a bit more body weight, but the point I found was the doctor said the kidney levels function went down. So if anyone decides to take creatine, not that you have to, I've stopped because of it, is make sure you drink a lot more water when you start taking something like creatine, because it pulls body water from it pulls into your muscles, and therefore you have less water going around your body. So you need to drink more water if you're doing creatine. If anyone does, I don't know if you guys probably know about that already, but that's what the doctor told me once.
Or don't take it. No creatine.
No, yeah, you don't have to. I'm not taking it anymore. I found I responded to it, but yeah.
Exactly.
I don't drink enough water. That's one of the worst habits I have. I barely drink any water.
Absolutely. I think best is to move away from taking supplements. Victor, you want to say something?
Cheers, by the way. Thanks.
Hey guys, just want a quick note that I've been through 2 months of the Cali Vegan program so far, and I've been going to the gym on and off for years before I joined. And I just want to say, these are the best invested money I've ever done into anything. I have, after 2 months, built 2 kilos of muscle. I've got shredded. I've changed my body completely into something that I didn't even know was possible. So I just wanted to say, I still have a few weeks or months left of the program, but I'm so excited where it's going to take me. And I'm sure it's going to revolutionize your life just like it did to me, if you decide to join. It's a great community as well. Good guys and good fun.
Thanks a lot, Victor, for sharing. You're doing great.
Thank you, Victor. I really appreciate your feedbacks, and I also tell in the community every time that we get these positive feedbacks and we see people growing and getting stronger. It's very inspiring for us. I've also did this transformation, and now seeing that I can help others in this, it's extremely satisfying, and I take out of pride in having now an active role in supporting others. It's amazing. So I can't wait to have more people. If you feel like this is calling you, take action, do it. You have the link here. You can book the call and do it as soon as possible. If you're going to be in the first 3 persons, you're going to even have the very first Cali Vegan workout retreat that we are going to finalize and then share. And yeah, I can also confirm, now I'm a coach, but before I also joined the program back then, and I was also not so sure if it would have been the right investment for me, because of course it's money is energy, but the energy I got out of the program, the person I'm now compared to 6, 7, 8 months ago, it was the best invested money. When you invest in yourself, in your healthier habits, in a better version of yourself, you're gonna profit out of this knowledge and of this energy forever. So it's like I don't know, buying bitcoins when they're cheap and they explode in value. So it's always the best to do it as soon as possible, ideally yesterday, latest today, because we have still so much life in front of us, and investing in ourselves is simply the best. So thank you, Victor, for your testimony. I'm really happy you are here. And also you brought your friend Nick, so that's really great. Thank you.
Sounds good. Okay, what should we add here? Do you guys enjoy the masterclass? Was it valuable? Sounds good.
It was nice meeting with you guys. Nice meeting.
Thank you, Rohan.
Okay.
Thank you guys from Greece. Greetings.
Thank you.
Thank you. It was a good program. Got a lot from it so
I'm
far.
from India.
Yeah, thank you. It's very good. Hope to speak with you soon.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you
Bye-bye.
very much. I hope I'll see you
Thanks.
soon.
Appreciate
You
it.
know, find us and see you very soon.
Okay, bye.
Thank you.
Grazie. Thank you.
So, Stefano, should we leave the link active in the chat, or how are the people gonna have it in case they didn't copy it now? Does it make sense to?
Yeah, no, they will be contacted with the link.
Okay, perfect. Well, should we close it here and wish everyone a great time, no matter the time zone? For me now here it's evening. It's